morning, everyone. My name is Scott Morris. I am the Business Development Director for GTS Distribution on the gaming side. We're here with another one of our publisher to retailer webinars. And this week we have Tom Wetzel, who is from Thames and Kosmos. We're going to talk about two really cool games for his coming up. One that I think is going to be really good for the holidays. They're both very good for the holidays, but I think one is going to be really good for a stocking stuffer and maybe in some of my stockings as well at my house that are already planned. So anyone who is brand new to the webinars, just to give you a quick rundown on everything here, we're going to talk about two specific games. I'll let Tom take over here in a second and start telling you about all the good stuff about them. Anyone who's here live for the presentation will be eligible for a free demo copy of one of the games. We'll have a presentation, and then at the end, we'll get all the information over to the GTS sales reps. They'll get in contact with you and coordinate everything for the free demo copy. In addition, any purchases that are made or pre-orders that are made for upcoming game between this Monday and next Monday that we're talking about here on the show, you're going to be able to get 52% off as well, which is a little better discount from what our normal discounts are at GTS, so provide you guys a little more value. The nice thing is you don't have to be here live, so if you're watching this recorded on YouTube, as long as you order before next Monday, which I believe is the 10th according to my calendar, on the 2018, you will be good to get that discount as well, which is really nice. Other than that, as always, we like to keep this an open forum. So if anyone does have any questions as Tom is going through his presentation, feel free to pop up your chat window. If you hover over your Zoom software, there is a little chat bubble at the bottom. You can type in and add any kind of questions you may have. I'll go ahead and moderate that as we go through. So Tom, if we have any questions, I'll jump in and let you know anything that pops up. Other than that, everything's on the table, as we say, pardon the pun. Any kind of questions anybody wants to ask, feel free to do so. Let us know along the way. Tom, from your side as well, if you have any questions you want to ask the retailers, feel free to ping them and let them know, and we'll share their responses and their feedback as well. Other than that, I will pass it over to you, Tom, let you start sharing your presentation and get things started.
Great. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, good morning, everybody. What I'm going to share with you today is just a quick PowerPoint. I'm not going to spend too much time on anything specifically, but I'd like to go over some quick points with everyone. Let's see if I can get this to run now. The program seems to be stalling out my program. There we go. All right. So I wanted to start off with just a quick overview about Kosmos, the brand, and who we are, and just 3 bullet points here. First off, Kosmos, for clarification, is the game division under Thames and Kosmos. So if you see Thames and Kosmos on your order forms, the reason for that is because Thames and Kosmos is the parent company, or the official name of the company, whereas because the Kosmos name has such a great legacy here in the States, we decided we'd keep it for brand recognition as just the games category. We have over 50 years of board game publishing, and that's part of the reason why we've kept the Kosmos name. And with that, we've got high standards for components, designs, manuals, and support. And I can tell you, we really have some of the best support, I think, in the business. Anytime you have any problems, we're happy to resolve them in the best way possible. So the 2 games we're going to go over today, Ubong Fun Size and Lost Cities Rivals. And we've decided to go over these for a couple of reasons. First, they're new. And second, they're both these kind of fun-sized boxes and a nice impulse price range. So hopefully that can be a good sell for you this holiday season and just in general year-round. So the first one we're going to go over is Ubong, and we'll go over these 4 points, and we'll rush through them pretty quick. But we'll get a first glance at the game. We'll go over the difference between Ubong Fun Size and the regular Ubong, which has been out for a long time. A quick overview of the game, and then why it's great for in-store demos, which I'm hoping some of you will get a chance to do. So at first glance, you'll notice this is part of the Ubong brand, and you'll see on the box cover it says 5 million games sold. That's because Ubong has a whole family of games, and this is just the most recent addition within that family. And it's because it's so much smaller and it's streamlined, and I'll go over that a little bit more in the breakdown of the game. But the fun size, it's 7 inches by I think 5 inches. It's really nice, portable. And it's got a low cost for impulse purchases. It's $14.95 MSRP, which we think is great. And a little pair for comparison. That's to scale as close as I can get. It's a pretty small box, actually. Differences between Ubongo and Ubongo Fun Size. You can see here on the left-hand side, the Ubongo full-size game has a lot of components, a bag with gems, dice, timer, and all those things are great for the game because they help add to the experience, but they're not necessary to get the feel of the game. You'll see to the right we have Ubongo Fun Size. It's really streamlined. We don't have the gems, we just have little cardboard gems, which help with the scoring. And the cards in the Ubongo Fun Size are cardstock instead of cardboard. So that's part of why we were able to keep the price point a little bit lower. And we found that the cards actually stayed nice and flat. So we've been able to use them again and again and again with no problems there. So the big differences between the two: component size, the price. Obviously, you're going to get more boards and more replayability with the larger edition. But at $15, I feel like the cost for the fun size is great. So just a quick overview of the game. This really won't take long at all. Every player, up to 4 players, you're going to get a card, and you have all of the pieces available to you. And what you're going to try and do is place those pieces. Every player gets the same number of pieces. Use those pieces to fill in the blank spaces as quickly as you can. And every player who solves the puzzle is going to get a point. And the point is represented by keeping that card. And the first player to do it is going to get a gem. So that's kind of like the second point. And you play 8 rounds, and at the end, whoever has the most points wins. And if you want to adjust the difficulty, say you're playing with some kids or you're playing with someone who's never played before, you get that little yellow piece and you kind of discard that from your available pieces, which all puzzles can be solved without it, and that gives you a little bit of a disadvantage. So kind of increases the level of difficulty, which I find is nice. The reason why this is a great store or a great game for demos, first of all, it's really small, so you can fit on a little table really simply. It's easy to show and teach. I just basically went over all the rules with everyone here, so you can go over that with any customer really quickly because it's so intuitive. And when people play it, it's easy to play, and they immediately see the reward, the gratification of solving the puzzle. And once again, $14.95, it's a great price. I think that a lot of people will tack those onto their orders. All right, so on to the next game, Lost Cities Rivals. We'll go over just 3 points on this one. We'll do the first glance again. Difference between Lost Cities, the card game, and Lost Cities Rivals. And again, why this game is great for in-store demos. So at first glance, you'll recognize Lost Cities. It's a classic title. The first one came out in 1999. Hopefully that Lost Cities, the card game, is still selling well in your stores. This is just a new twist on the same core mechanic. Once again, this is smaller than the card game. It's the same 7 inches by about 5 inches. And it's the same price as Ubongo, $14.95. Again, we have a pair for comparison. Sorry for the pun there. All right, so the differences between Lost Cities, the card game, and Lost Cities Rivals. You'll notice Lost Cities, the card game on the left, it's going to cost a little bit more, $19.95 instead of $14.95. With that, you get the card, you get that nice big board where you can lay cards, discard, and draw cards. And part of the core mechanic of that game is that it's a hand management game, whereas Lost Cities Rivals plays 2 to 4 players, which is nice. It has an auction mechanic instead of the hand management. And instead of that player board, you're going to get a whole bunch of coins. This is just an up-close picture of the chipboard coins that come with the new Lost Cities Rivals. And you'll also notice on the card artwork there, one thing that we received some requests for with the Lost Cities, the card game, is to make it colorblind friendly. So you'll notice the icons at the very bottom there make it so that even if you can't tell the difference between those colors, you can see the difference in the icons, which I find is very helpful. This is why it's great for in-store demos. Again, it's a small footprint. It doesn't take up much space. This is a game, this is a two-player game in progress. Now, as the game progresses, that might get a little bit bigger as you have more cards you collect in your tableau, but that's pretty much the size you can expect. And gamers, people who've played Lost Cities, the card game, will recognize the mechanic of collecting runs of cards to create expeditions, and they'll catch on to that concept pretty quickly. So your demo time can be really quick as well. When I've taught this at both PAX Unplugged and at BGG-Con, the people who have played Lost Cities, the card game, can pretty much pick it up in a couple of minutes, which is nice. We'll just go over, this is something that I wanted to give retailers as just a reference. So you'll have this webinar available to you later, so you can have this information available to you as well. But I won't go over all of the points here because we've kind of already covered them. But this is the Ubongo Fun Size Edition, brief overview, kind of the age limit or the age recommendation, the number of players, the time, the price, all that kind of stuff. And this is the same kind of recap for Lost Cities Rivals. And in this, you'll find some helpful information. And also, I should mention, the hyperlink there may not work on the video, obviously, but if you search for Thames and Kosmos on YouTube, you'll find some videos that you can use for both of these games as kind of promotional.
We can make sure, Tom, when we put the recording up, to take the links from the presentation and put them into the description of the video as well. That way it'll be available too.
Oh, great. Perfect. Let's see. In summary, Kosmos, the brand, hopefully you guys recognize us and you've been able to trust us. And we hope to continue to grow that trust. We're, I believe, a very respected game publisher with a long history of producing high quality games. And these two games live up to that standard, just like any of our previous games. Ubongo Fun Size, Lost Cities Rivals, both are priced at that key impulse purchase price, $14.95, and that nice small box. You can put them, I have had them at my register at PAX Unplugged and did really well with Ubongo Fun Size. It's the release of that. This is the first time that it's being offered to the public. So having it right there, people were buying Imhotep and they would see that and they would say, oh, I'll add that to it because it's such a fun little game and such a nice price. But that's everything I got for you guys as far as the games go. So please let me know if you have any questions.
That's great, Tom. Thank you so much. The two sheets that you had there on the two games with the details are really, really good. They're very detailed. So thank you for producing that and making it available for the retailers. That's really good. Tabitha has asked, what are the depths of the boxes in comparison to the pair? So,
well, they're about an inch deep, a little bit more than an inch. It's a metric.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's like a little bit over an inch. They're really compact. It's a nice size.
Yeah, fact, the Lost City Rivals is definitely going to end up in a stocking at my house. So,
yeah.
She also wanted to ask, will they stand on their own? This is a big question I do get from some retailers. So if you were to place a box vertically, is it thick enough to balance itself, or will it have any kind of wobble or anything like that?
Yes, I was able to do that with them at the show that I was just at. No problem. I guess the only potential difference would be that they're all shrink wrapped. So if there's an imperfection in the shrink wrap, then maybe one or two won't. But I didn't have that problem here. I can just foreseeing any potential problems with that would be the imperfections there.
Okay, cool. Hopefully that helps, Tabitha. If anyone has any additional questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box window. And as always, you're welcome to ask about the games that we talked about here or any of the other games in Thames and Kosmos' lineup, of course. Most people, I think, right now are probably very familiar with you guys from the Exit line of games, which are the escape room style games, which have been doing extremely well and continue to just keep telling themselves, which is really exciting to see. So,
yeah, and that's the same box size. That's one thing that we're pushing this year, have pushed this year, and we'll probably continue to push this next year. Is that box size? It's the same as these are the same size as the Exit games. And we just feel like that $14.95 is a really nice price point. We've had a lot of success with it, and hopefully stores have too.
Great, great. That's a good question. And maybe we could ask some of the retailers if anyone wanted to chime in terms of the exit games and that box size and that price point. What's your feeling on that price point? Is that a good thing for Thames and Kosmos to target for some of these games like the Ubongo fun size and other things like that? I'm presuming the answer may be yes, but would love to hear from any of the retailers who may want to chime in on that or add any comments in the chat window at all.
Yeah, and in addition to that question, if anyone chimes in, you may have noticed if you're very familiar with the Ubongo brand, you'll notice the logo changed a little bit. We cleaned it up. We're trying to bring it from the 90s into the 2000 teens, and I think that we cleaned it up a lot. It doesn't have that splotty kind of background or the really uneven text to it. So we're thinking this looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit more modern, and we're hoping that's going to help incent or just attract younger, more newer customers. So I don't know if anyone noticed that, or if they had any feedback on that. That would be great.
I have to admit, I didn't notice it, and I'm part of the distributor, so I just looking at it right now online. Yeah, you can see the difference, which is really cool.
Yeah,
those are the subtle differences and the things that publishers and manufacturers do that may not always go noticed immediately, which is kind of interesting. So it does not look like we're having any additional questions or any additional comments added in. So it may just be a lighter Monday than normal. So if anyone does have any questions, feel free to drop them in. Oh, hang on. One retailer, Tabitha, again says, box size and price point is great. The exit display really helps grab attention too. That's a great comment. I know that there's the kind of pop-up display for the exit style games as well.
Yeah, we love those. I think they're such a great tool, and I want everyone to be able to use those. And you can get them through GTS, which is fantastic.
Do you think, Tom, is that something that as you guys create more games that are in that price point and in that box size, you may create displays, maybe not necessarily for like a family of games that may all be linked together, but just for the simple fact that they may be similar size price point and similar size box size, that a small display could help at kind of a point of sale type register stand area?
That's a great idea. And on that note, we're actually creating another similar sized Ubongo game next year. Ubongo does really well for us. So it's a brand that we really want to push. And it might be worth looking into creating some kind of display for the fun size and the one that we're coming out next, which is going to be Ubongo Extreme. That's one to look for in 2019. And it should be the same box size and maybe a display, maybe like the counter display. Would be nice, and if people are interested in it, that would be good feedback for sure.
Great. Yeah, no, I know we've had a lot of discussions here with some retailers about ways to separate the games from the shelves, right? With so many new releases coming out and so many different things for both a consumer and for a retailer to keep up with, that anything like that can kind of pull it away from the noise on the shelf itself and make it separate is definitely a very positive thing for the retailers.
That's good. It's good to get that feedback. Thanks.
Cool. All right. So it does look like the chat window has slowed down, so no one has added any more questions or any additional comments or anything. Tom, if people want to get a hold of you separately outside of this call and webinar, what is the best way for them to reach you or reach Thames and Kosmos?
So any of the retailers on here, I'm happy to take those emails personally. So you can email me, tom@thamesandkosmos.com, and it's all spelled out. I can even write it here in the message field, so if anyone wants to look at it.
And we'll make sure to put that into the video description as well, and we'll add that to the video.
Yeah, so send me anything you want directly, but if say you just have any question at all and you want to make sure, you can send it to contact@Thames and Kosmos as well.
Great. And then Samantha wanted to make a comment. She said, it's not a question, just wanted to say I appreciate the pun, and I wanted to thank you guys for giving our store the opportunity, which is great. So that's awesome.
Oh, thanks, Samantha. Great.
Cool. Okay, with that, we'll probably wrap it up. But again, if everyone remembers, if you are here live, you are available to get a free demo copy of Lost City Rivals. So our GTS sales reps will be contacting you, letting you know about that. In addition, both Lost City Rivals and Ubongo are going to be on sale between now and Monday, the 10th of 2018. They'll be on sale for 52% off, so definitely go ahead and get your orders and your pre-orders in ahead of time. Be on the lookout. They've got a lot more coming up. I know the exit games keep going, the Bongo Extreme, as Tom had mentioned, and of course some other games that I'm sure are coming down the line from Thames and Kosmos that have done very well. But in the meantime, wanted to thank everybody for attending. Really do appreciate your time. Tom, definitely appreciate you taking the time to speak to everyone. If anyone has any questions, like I said, we'll make sure that the contact information is added to the video here and links into the video description as well, so you can reach out to Tom or to us here at GTS if you have any additional questions. Other than that, thank you all very much for joining, and I hope you have a great week at your stores.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you, everybody.